Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to our authors chat. Hello to you who are watching this on the replay. I am Shantae Williams, owner of Relentless Publishing House, where we help aspiring authors who are ready to invest in self-publishing their book. So listen, you guys, on today's authors chat, thank you guys so much for joining me. I want to discuss whether or not you should write and publish your book. Now, I know there's this notion out here that, everybody has a book in them and everybody needs to write at least one book. And if you're in business, you need a book to sell. And if you're certain in your certain industries, and you got to have a book to sell to make you a subject matter expert and to get you more. Listen, this is not true. Hear me and hear me clearly. This is not true. Everybody does not need to write a book. Everybody does not need a book in their specific industry. Just because you are a speaker or a coach or a mentor, right? It doesn't always necessarily mean that you need a book. Just because you're in business doesn't mean that you need to write a book in your specific industry. You don't. There are too many people out here just writing books to be writing them. They're not selling, they're not marketing, they're raggedy. They're self-made, they're all jacked up. Oh, if I can tell you the things that I see, and I'm like, oh my gosh, who told you that that was usable? Y'all using car selfies as book covers? Come on, y'all. You won't pay for an editor. You get your best friend who was good in English, barely, to edit your book. Just all jacked up. So we're going to go over 5 questions for you to ask yourself when you are determining whether or not you should write and publish a book. I do not believe that everybody needs to publish a book. When I do my consultations and I'm listening, I am honest and I would say, you know what? I'm not really sure if you're ready to publish this yet. It needs either some more development or you need to start a blog. Some of us just need a blog to get everything in us out. You don't necessarily need to invest your time and resources to go through the whole process of publishing and then you don't do anything with it. I even have too many clients myself who have published a book. They were excited. You go through their social media page now, you wouldn't even know they was an author because the excitement died down after the launch. Being a self-published author is not easy. It takes work. It takes consistency. It takes discipline. It takes learning the craft and learning what to do and what not to do at networking in and on and off of social media. It takes you reaching out to folks, picking up the phone, going to people, saying, here's a copy of my book. I think this book is good for your organization because blah, blah, blah. It takes work, but a lot of self-published authors don't want to do the work. They think just because they wrote a book that it's going to sell. What made you so special? It's not that easy. It is not that easy. So we're going to go over some questions, right, for you to determine whether or not you need to publish a book. All right. So the first question is, what do you know about this subject? Is this a subject that you are familiar with? Is this a subject that you are knowledgeable with, that you have experience with, or do you have to go research everything? And so now your book is borrowed information, borderline plagiarism. If you are not a subject matter expert on this, if you have no experience, why are you trying to write a book on it? That's like me going to write a book on the hair industry. I know nothing about the hair industry. When I have to buy hair for braids, I'm asking my daughter, what hair do I buy? But I go and I research and I watch YouTube videos and now I'm an expert on how to do this and now I want to write a book. Y'all better stop that foolishness. You don't know what you're talking about. You hadn't did not one head. And doing your niece's head at your grandmama's house don't work. That don't count. Y'all kitchen sink beauticians, that don't count. What have you done in the craft? Did you actually go to school and get your license so you're doing hair legally? Have you gone to hair shows and gotten continued education? Are you under a master stylist, master barber that knows what they're doing and can teach you the different things? Listen, just because you watched a couple of YouTube videos don't make you no expert. Y'all stop half writing these books on stuff you know nothing about. All right. Number two, what problem is your book going to solve for your target audience? People invest in solutions, not problems. How are you going to add value to their life with your book? If I'm writing a book on how to make the best cupcake, my solution that I'm giving is for those who want to, they're not necessarily want to be bakers, they're not trying to be chefs and go to culinary school. They just want to improve their baking skills at home. So I'm writing a book for those moms and dad who like to bake for leisure or for their family, but they want to improve in the skill. So that's my target audience. So that's the problem I'm solving. Those who would like to improve the skill of baking, but specifically for cupcakes, right? So what problem are you solving with your book? We invest in solutions. Okay. And then number three, have you identified the correct target audience? Everybody is not going to buy your book. Every home baker or every mom and dad that likes to bake is not going to pick up my book on how to make the best cupcake. It's not going to appeal to them. So I need to be more specific, right? Just because I write a women's devotional book and I made this error when I first started publishing because I didn't know that there was a difference. I didn't know that you had to be specific. I didn't know that you had to hone down on this. I just figured, hey, it's a women's devotional book. Any woman who's going through something can pick it up, read and be encouraged, be inspired. It don't work that way. Every woman is not going to be drawn to you, and some people aren't going to buy it because it's you. It's not you, it's them. You just don't appeal to them. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. So you have to narrow down. So what age group of women are you talking to? You can't have the same type of language for millennial young adults as you do for baby boomers. It ain't gonna work, right? So you have to narrow down to an age group, and sometimes it's even ethnicity, right? It's region, it's education, it's income. You know, what are the psychographics? Not the psychographics. Oh my goodness. It just slipped my mind. Um, But what is the psychology of your target audience? Like, what do they do for leisure? What are their hobbies? What are their likes? What are their dislikes? Like, you have to do that type of research to know how to grab the attention of your specific target audience. It's not everybody. If it was that simple, we would all be New York bestsellers. But guess what? We're not. So you have to narrow it down. I know that you're confident in your writing, and I'm so glad that you are. But reality is, when you write your book for everyone, you're really writing it for no one. It's just that simple. So, do you even have the right target audience? See, when you know your target audience, then you will write a book that's for them. If I'm writing a book and I'm saying it's from millennials, but they can't relate to it, but then baby boomers pick it up, I may need to rethink that target audience. I have not done the right research. So you need to understand who your book is for, and that will help you write your book more effectively. Okay? Number 4, are you willing to do the work to promote, sell, and fulfill orders? Saying that I'm a self-published author is fun, but are you willing to ship out 100 books? Or are you just going to send them an Amazon link because you're lazy? Are you going to be consistent in marketing? Are you going to be engaging with your target audience? Are you just going to say bye, 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 bye? That is the biggest turnoff ever, right? People want to know that you have a relationship. People have to know, like, and trust you before they buy from you. And research says people have to see things 7 times before they push the buy button, which means everything can't be buy, which means you have to be well versed in your subject matter. If I'm writing about cupcakes, right? Then one of my posts is going to be like, y'all, listen, tell me your favorite cupcake. When was the first time you had your first cupcake? What is the most exotic flavor you want somebody to do in a cupcake? What is your favorite icing? What is your favorite topping to go in a cupcake? Who makes the best cupcakes? Let's start listing places. You have to be engaging with your audience. They want to know that they actually have a relationship with you, even though they don't. You have to take them on a journey. You have to let them know that you want more than their dollars, that you actually want to engage with them, right? You got to be willing to do giveaways. Oh, one of the worst things that I've seen lately is authors complaining because people are asking for complimentary copies of their book before they do an interview. Y'all, it's called marketing. If you don't invest in marketing, somebody else is extending you their platform and you don't want to send them a book and you don't want to pay the little funky $25. You don't need to be a published author because you're not willing to invest. Now, if you set up 50 interviews and you got to send 50 books, why are you complaining? That's 50 platforms to reach more of your target audience that you don't have access to. And when you run your book right as a business, it's a tax write-off. It's R&D. Come on, somebody. I'm telling you, some of these published authors are such whiny babies. I'm like, who in the world helped you? Who told you that this was okay? Y'all want stuff for free? You want to promote for free? You want people to bring you on a platform that they have built up? And you don't want to have to invest anything, but you want to be able to promote and make a profit? Now listen, they run a business just like you run a business. Now our Get You Right On podcast, we don't charge a fee, right? But that's not the case for every podcast. Every podcast has different goals. And you have to respect their goals. If you don't want to pay the fee, you don't want to send a book, choose another podcast, choose another radio station, choose somewhere else to promote your book. It's just that simple. But stop complaining about it. Self-published authors have to work harder than traditional published authors. Why? Because you don't have the team that they have. And you also didn't pay the thousands and thousands of dollars to get your book published either. It's a long time before they see a profit. Very long time. That's why they work hard at making sure they are New York Times bestseller. Right? So you got to be willing to do the work. And then last but not least, do you have the money to get it right? A lot of you guys are DIYing it. Listen, I get it. Do what you have to do. But a lot of you guys are doing it wrong. You're going cheap on your book covers. You're going cheap on your editing and your formatting. You're just doing the cheap way out just so you can say that you have it done. You don't want to invest the money to get it done right and then you complain. Let me tell you something. Editors are going to cost you at a minimum, a good editor at $400. Minimum. They charge per word count. So if you got a 20,000 word book, they charge 4 cents a word. Do the math. You want somebody to take time to read every word of your book and you want to give them $100? Where's the win-win in that? There's not. There is no win-win in that at all. No win-win in that at all. And then you want to do your book cover yourself because you don't want to pay a graphic designer. Listen, good book designers, graphic designers, let me tell you something. Minimum $350. Listen, do you want your book to look like everybody else? I don't. I make sure every element in every book that we publish is distinctly different from everything else we have already published. Period. There are no twins. It's not happening. So you need to make sure that you have the money to invest to get it done right. So now, should you or should you not write a book? It depends on the answer to all of these questions. Now, these questions are not exhaustive, but they are definitely something that you need to think about when determining whether or not you should write a book. Or do you just need to start a blog? There's nothing wrong with blogging. People blog and still make money. You can monetize blogs. It does take work. It just all depends on what it is that you want to do. All right, so listen, I hope that this tidbit of information has been useful and that it helps you determine whether or not you need to make the investment to self-publish your book, or do you need to go start a free blog, right? And so you can answer that question, right? And so once you answer that question, then you can decide where to go from there, because you're definitely going to have the resources. You're going to have to be willing to invest, and that's just that, right? Anything of quality takes time and it takes money. Don't shortcut, don't shortchange yourself in trying to do it the cheap way. Don't do that. All right. All right, you guys, a couple of things for you real quick. If you are interested in starting to write a book and you know that you're supposed to be writing a book, but you just kind of need some help in getting started, we have what we call the Aspiring Author Kit. It is $30 and it comes with a publishing planner and workbook. You get a notebook, a pen, an affirmation card, but most importantly, you get a free 30-minute Zoom session where we will sit down and discuss your book idea and outline it and get you ready so that you can start writing. Okay. And even in that session, we can talk about whether or not you need to move forward or you need to wait and try to develop it some more. Okay. So that is our Aspiring Author Kit. It is $30. And I'm telling you, it's one of the best things that we have created for aspiring authors who are considering publishing a book, because you get to work all of this out before you start investing more money. Okay. Now, for those of you who say, listen, I have started and stopped. I need a little more hands-on help. I'm not disciplined. I need somebody to kind of coach me along the way. We got you. The Authors Roundtable is our 6-month group coaching program that launches in January 2022. The investment for this program is $3,000 and it includes a publishing package. So you can do a full service publishing package or you can do a children's book publishing package. So we meet bi-weekly. Our first meeting is our group session. Our second meeting is our writing session. This can be another designated time where you use this hour to write. If you have already written something and you need feedback, if you need help transitioning from one thought to the next, from one chapter to the next, that's what the writing session is for. Okay, it also comes with a Inspiring Author Kit. You get 25 free copies of your book. You get 100 postcards and you get an interview on the Get Your Right On podcast. So the deposit is $300 and the balance needs to be paid by December 31st. Now, for those of you who are thinking, oh my gosh, that's like around the corner. Yes, it is. Email us and let's discuss what you think you can do. Now, remember, it's a 6-month program, so you do the math and determine what your monthly payments would have to be. And you have to determine whether or not that's in your budget. This is our pilot program. Anything we do as pilot will always be at the cheapest. The next time we do it, prices will increase. All right. So the next thing we got coming up, and I'm so excited, is our holiday virtual book fair, which is Saturday, November the 13th, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It is $25 for a 10-minute live feature. You can promote all of your books, any of your services, and other products that relate to your books. Okay? You do not have to be a client of Relentless Publishing House. This is open to all authors. And because this is a holiday edition, the live will be replayed every single week until December 31st to help promote your book to increase your holiday sales. All right. Now, another thing we have is our journal workshop replay. We did this workshop at the end of September. For those who are considering writing a journal is a great way to get started as a self-published author. And right now is the premier time to start working on that for it to launch at the beginning of the year, because at the beginning of the year we're all gung-ho, we want to work and we want to get ourselves better and we're all excited. So people are more apt to buy a journal between December and January so that they can start their new year off right. So if you are considering that, you definitely want to invest in our journal replay, which is $47. It comes with a 50+ page workbook that is a fillable PDF that will help you go from idea creation to you will have tons of ideas for journal, whether you want to do a digital journal or you want to do a print journal. All of the tools and information you need to get started is in this workshop. All right. We have been posting testimonials from our workshop attendees. You can go back through our social media page on Instagram and Facebook to see what they are saying. Okay. So now if you say, you know what, I think I already have a journal done. Listen, you guys, a journal is not supposed to have a lot of content. Some of you are overthinking this whole journal thing. A journal is not a book. A journal is you prompting them to journal. Okay, so some of you guys are putting way too much information in journals. All right. The last day to get a journal outline to us in time for the Christmas and New Year holidays is October the 15th. That is right around the corner. That is the last day to get it to us, and we will guarantee that it will be ready for Christmas delivery. All right. Anything after that will be the new year. Okay. So go ahead and get that. Our journal package is our cheapest publishing package. It is $500. 50% deposit is due up front, and the balance is done upon completion. All right. So for those of you authors that need help getting your holiday strategy, we have created a holiday sales workbook. We gave this workbook free to all of our clients to help them boost their holiday sales. Q4 is one of the busiest times in retail. And so there's no reason why you should not be profiting in Q4. So we created a holiday sales workbook to help them maximize and monetize this holiday season. And so if you are an author, you're saying, you know what, I really need help with my holiday sale workbook, with my holiday sales, with strategies and all of that good stuff. Listen, you can download our digital workbook for $5. It is a PDF fillable, so you do not have to print it. It's going to help you analyze from Q1 to Q3 to have proper forecasts for Q4. Okay, so that is available right now for only $5. So we'll leave that up through mid-November, because if you hadn't done anything by mid-November, then it's a wrap. You need to be working on Q1 of 2022. Okay. All right, you guys, that is all that I have for our authors chat. Thank you so much for joining us again. I am Shantae Williams, owner of Relentless Publishing House, where we help aspiring authors who are ready to invest in self-publishing their book. All right, you guys, listen, our season 2 Get You Right On podcast has launched. The first episode was published on yesterday. The next episode episodes will be published on every Monday through, I think, the end of November. So make sure that you subscribe, you listen to our podcast on wherever you receive your podcast at, and then also be published on our YouTube channel. So the first one was published today on our YouTube channel. And so you guys go and check it out. And so if you are interested in being in season 3, send us an email and we will send you the link so that you can sign up to be a season 3 guest. Again, we do not charge any of our authors to be interviewed on our podcast. It is our gift to help you promote your book and to introduce more of our readers, more of our listeners, more of your target audience who may be connected to us, and get them connected to you. All right, you guys. So listen, as we say at Relentless, it is never too late to get your right on. Let's kill Q4 authors. This is our season. Let's do the work. Let's get it going. All right. Have a great night.